Nigeria is indeed blessed with enormous landmass, natural and human resources, and above all stands tall as the most populous nation in the West African sub-region. The country's 62-year journey has been one of aspirations, achievements, setbacks, and problems accentuated by the nation's multi-ethnic diversity. With these problems notwithstanding, there is every reason to commemorate the country's 62 years of independence, as it has against all odds remained as one indivisible entity. And so on this special edition of Frontiers, we will be taking a look at Nigeria at 62, sustenance of national unity and patriotism. This becomes even more imperative as Nigerians head to the polls in 2023 to elect new leaders. I am Obiageli Ugoke, and our guest on this special edition of the program is Dr. Garba Abare, Director General, National Orientation Agency. You're welcome to Frontiers.
Thank you. Thank you.
The program continues. Once again, you're welcome to Frontiers. Now, taking a critical look at Nigeria's economy, the present economic situation, and in line with the present administration's economic policies, how has the country fared in economic diversification?
As a citizen engagement individual charged with the responsibility to propagate government policies, programs, and activities, I would want to say that going by the general experiences around the world and going by the kind of policies, programs that this government has put in place, we can say that we are not doing badly. However, there is a lot that still needs to be done. We are not there yet. The unemployment rate is still very high. Inflation is running at an astronomical pace. Nigeria is not in isolation from the rest of the world in terms of the experiences that the world is passing through pre and the post, during and the post pandemic era. All said and done, we can say that if the experiences of other countries are anything to go by, then ours, bad as it may appear, is still better. The post-pandemic economic recovery programs that the government has instituted in various aspects, especially in the social insurance and the social safety nets programs, in the area of improved agricultural, improved intervention in the agricultural sector, the Anchor Borrowers program, the breakthrough that we are seeing, especially in the information and the technology sector, the recently signed Petroleum Industry Act, which actually now opens the petroleum industry to greater investment opportunities for the for the company, and by extension, therefore, expanding the frontiers of revenue earning for the country. The general opening of the economy to foreign investors, in spite of the challenges of security that we are seeing here and there, we can say that actually we are not doing badly. But we are not there yet. A lot needs to be done. A lot is being done, and the results are there for people to see. But let me also add an item which also will go to answer part of the question you asked. The performance of the government in one key area that also impacts on economic development, that is infrastructure. The infrastructure provision of this government, even against huge revenue deficits, is remarkable. And with infrastructure will come job creation. With infrastructure will come opening of economic opportunities. With infrastructure will come opening of markets, and so on and so forth. The multiplier effect on all of this will definitely impact on the general economic development of the country, and I think to a very large extent.
The present administration has initiated several social intervention programs to address the high rate of unemployment in the country. What are assessments of the impact of these programs?
They are good. They are good, very well received by the general population, from the attestation of all the beneficiaries. But I want you to also bear in mind that our country is a country of extremely young people. It's a country of extremely young people with a lot of talents, with a lot of entrepreneurial spirit. What government is trying to do, which is now actually gaining traction with the general population, is that white-collar jobs are no longer the fad. In fact, for a population of our country today, there is just no way that everybody will just end up with a white-collar job. What we need actually are opportunities, and this is what exactly government is doing, government acting as an enabler, creating the necessary conducive environment for private businesses to flourish, for small and medium enterprises to flourish, and of course for individuals, for groups to get themselves organized into cooperatives so that they can access small, medium, and large capital to create wealth, create job opportunities, reduce poverty, and by so doing, creating an army of entrepreneurial individuals, and you can see how much of our young men and the women are really receiving, this message of government, and are actually breaking grounds, especially in IT. And of course, not only in IT, it's also other small social service provision and what have you. You see them in health, you see them in little commerce, you see them in clothing, you see them in eateries, you see them, and this is actually the way to go. The social investment program has come in different categories: the Empower, the market money, the farmer money, the
trader money,
the trader money. That's what I call the market money. The trader money, and of course,
and the youth empowerment program.
The youth empowerment program. That is the YES program. And then at the same time now, there is the general economic empowerment program, what they call JIP2 and now JIP3. These are all opportunities that government has. These are all social investment opportunities that government has put in place to make citizens access, such outlets with a view to creating wealth and reducing poverty.
Okay, you mentioned the security situation. Now, talking about this, security situation. There's no doubt that so much has been done. And remember, it's an area that borders the citizens so well, and as well the federal government. But we know there are still some gaps, judging from the kidnapping and terrorism issue going on right now. How do you think this could be squarely addressed?
Well, I think, let me start by actually narrating an experience from someone who is coming from one of the security challenged areas. I come from the Northeast. I live in Maiduguri. And when I say I live in Maiduguri, I mean to date I live in Maiduguri. My family still resides in Maiduguri. And we have had no cause actually to move out of Maiduguri, even at the height of the insurgency.
Oh.
So we knew what it was before 2013, 2014, 2015. We knew how it was in late 2015, and how the insurgency grew and reached its crescendo, and how it is coming down. We have seen how between 2019, 2021, 2020, 2021, the farmer herders clashes that had characterized the relationship between farmers and the herders in central Nigeria and in many other parts of the country had actually been subdued and been addressed. There are worrisome developments, however. Still, the Northwest remains a flashpoint, which government is working very seriously to address. And not only has government not been working seriously to address, but we can see actually how, to a very large extent, the incidences have drastically reduced, especially of kidnapping and of bandit attacks and what have you. Still, there are flashpoints, like the recent ones we just witnessed in Bungulu local government in Zamfara State, and the recent ones day before yesterday in Kaduna State. These are isolated cases. They are not cases that one is happy about, but it tells you how much from a daily reported incidences of bandit attacks, of kidnappings, of arson, of now we hear maybe incidences far in between. This tells you that a lot of what the military is doing is bearing fruits, and that the communities themselves are also now coming now to give the necessary intelligence that will guide military operations. And of course, I want to say that the issue of insecurity is an issue which involves everybody. You cannot operate in an insecure environment as an individual or as a group, because when a community is insecure or a country is insecure, schools cannot open, markets cannot open, mosques and churches cannot open. In fact, even to walk on the streets actually is really at your own risk. I am telling you this because of what we had passed through in the northeast at the height of the Boko Haram insurgency. The situation was so bad that at a time there was when you could not even go out to bury your dead. That was how bad the situation was. But because if schools cannot open, if markets cannot open, if people cannot walk freely on the streets, then you know that it is actually a business of everybody. The security agencies, government, non-governmental organizations, traditional rulers, religious leaders, individuals as citizens, police, all must have to come together and join hands in order to fight insecurity and ensure that we collectively fight a common enemy that confronts all of us as a nation, as a community, as individuals, as groups,
All right, Mr. Barry, we'll pause here for a while. I'll get back to you. This is a special Independence edition of Frontiers. The program continues in just a moment. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, your agency is charged with the responsibility of promoting patriotism, national unity, and development. What is the NOA doing to sensitize Nigerians on this important civic responsibility?
So the issue of patriotism and the love for nation is not something that you just simply wake up and legislate. You don't legislate love for nation. You do not legislate loyalty for the country. It's something that evolves. And is actually fundamentally part of the social contract between government and the citizens. We probably must have missed the bus elsewhere. And that is some of the reasons why we are seeing manifestations of indiscipline and the cynical response to our nation in many instances. But the National Orientation Agency synthesizes. But what we do is not actually to say, just love your country. You know? It does not say, love your country, and you just stop there. Now, when you say love your country, then you say, okay, you love your country because this country has reasons to be loved. And then you begin to list the reasons. One of the things we do actually is our flagship program, what we call Fall in Love with Nigeria. Now, the Fall in Love in Nigeria is actually a flagship program that we take to all the schools across the country, especially to our young people, who are in school and who are in the impressionistic stages in life, and therefore will begin to see the need to love our country. Why must we love Nigeria? We love Nigeria because first and foremost, it is the only country where you walk freely and you out any fear of being harassed, because it is only one country you just walk around freely without having to know whether, oh, have I taken my passport along with me or not? Just to go, maybe you go into another country and you want to go to the nearby shop to go and pick maybe a detergent or a bathing soap or whatever, and then you have to remember that you have to carry with you a passport, you know, in the event something happens. So there is one country that is called Nigeria that gives you identity. It gives you identity. Number two, it's a blessed country. You have so many reasons to love this country. Maybe look at it, just see how blessed the country is. One of the very few countries in the world that you don't even have to worry about the weather. You know, when making choice of your dress, you can wear what you are wearing now. Today, you can wear it even during the Hamilton season. You can wear it in the hot season. You can wear it. In other climes, you have to have a wardrobe for winter, for fall, for autumn, for spring. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this is the blessing of the country. Now, look at the huge human resources that we have. Look at the huge material resources we have. Look at the huge, look at the kaleidoscope of color that represents Nigeria in terms of our cuisine, in terms of our dressing, in terms of our dances, in terms of our social activities, in terms of. But most importantly also, look at the opportunities that this country can give you.
Bearing this in mind, Dr. Barry, you mentioned some symbols, some national symbols. Now, most times we see that these national symbols are abused by many. Can you let us in some of the ways that these abuses occur and probably ways to prevent them?
It's something actually of concerns to me as an individual, and of course as an agency. The NTA has helped us a great deal in our sensitization on how to even fly our national flags. In many, the national flag is the symbol of sovereignty. It's a symbol of our independence. It's a symbol of our sovereignty as a people, and it represents. It is just not a piece of cloth that you hang or that you just hoist on a piece of stick and you fly. You know, the national flag is a symbol of our unity, is a symbol of our sovereignty, and it carries a meaning. The green, white, green. You know, the green signifies something, the white in the middle signifies something, the green underneath signifies something. You know, but many people do not seem to accord, or are not according the flag its appropriate importance and the place, because they do not understand the import of doing so. And that is what we do. That is what the NTA has been helping us to do. Please fly the flag in the right size, in the right corners, because if you go to some of our public institutions, you go to our private institutions, you go to banks, you go to schools, you will see the flag being flown in tattered form, at times in wrong colors, many instances in the wrong sizes. And we write to all institutions, banks, public institutions, private institutions. Please, this is the color of the Nigerian flag. We are custodians of the national flag. Please fly it in the right size, in the right color. If you don't sew it. Don't go to the market and buy any shade of green and any shade of white and sew it together and say you are flying the national flag. This is not it. There are also other national symbols, you know, that people also are in the habit of abusing. Our national currency is a national symbol, but look at the way it is being managed. Look at the way that we handle our national currency. You know, you go to other parts of the world, this is not the way their national currencies are treated. But you go to our market, you transact a 100 naira or 50 naira business, and you give 100 naira before they give you the balance of what, you know, you will begin to wonder whether to take it, and if you take it, where do you keep it? You know, but the national currency is a national symbol. Our armorial bearing, what they call the coat of arms, is our national symbol. You know, our international passport is a national symbol. So these are all the issues that we are talking about.
Now, our founding fathers have sacrificed so much for this entity known today as Nigeria. As the political activity heightens for the 2023 general election, what's your charge to Nigerians regarding voting and governance?
Our call is like what is to the political players and then to the citizens generally. For the political parties and for the candidates to conduct themselves in such a manner that the polity does not get any overheated. There are rules governing the game. All of them are looking to serve for opportunity to serve Nigeria. And Nigeria can only be served when Nigeria exists. Nigeria can only be served when Nigeria remains peaceful and secure. Peaceful and secure. Where there is no peace, where even when you get elected, you hardly can make any difference in the lives of the people or even carry out your mandate. So let the politicians and their followers please conduct the campaigns leading up to the elections in a very civil manner, address the issues, and they should not allow themselves to be in the front line of leading to breakdown of law and order. Secondly, to the citizens. We are all clamoring for servant leaders. So all of us have a responsibility to come out, collect our voters' card where we have not, and on election day, go and carry out our civic responsibility by voting according to our conscience and voting for the kind of people we feel will serve our interest better. This is my call. This is the call of every well-meaning Nigerian, every peace-loving Nigerian to, as we get close to the elections. But most importantly, I want to remind all of us that when we get close to this kind of activities, there are many people who don't wish this country well. And occasions there was actually, occasions there was when even some people had sent in journalists from offshore to begin to report the breakup of our country, you know, in one of the elections, only for them to put to shame. We in this country have this capacity.
Thank you, Dr. Abari. I'm afraid we do not have much time, and of course these issues can never be overemphasized. We mostly appreciate you for coming on Frontiers, sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
On this special edition of Frontiers, we have been taking a look at Nigeria at 62 and the place of national unity and patriotism. And our guest has been Dr. Garba Barry, the Director General, National Orientation Agency, NOA, as we celebrate Nigeria's independence as a sovereign nation. We must remember that we all have a part to play in promotional national unity and good governance. I am Obiageli Ugwoke. Thank you very much for staying.